Money's the motivation, money's the conversation. You on vacation, we getting paid, so.
All right, guys. Welcome, everyone, to our new podcast. This is a show where we strictly talk about sports and debate with one another. Our show is called KBDC, and I'm DC.
And I'm KB. Let's get right into the action here. Dom and I each have our favorite NFL squad, and we're going to brag about them for a little bit.
Definitely.
So, Dom, let me hear about the Chargers, my man.
All right. So, being a young child born and raised in Southern California, always a San Diego Chargers fan, but now Los Angeles Chargers. Sadly, I still believe they belong in San Diego. Even though I was born in Los Angeles, but they're actually playing right now as we speak. They're playing
the Jags.
Yep. It's tight. It's still 0-0. We got some offensive weapons on that side of the ball. Got Melvin Gordon,
One of the best running backs in the league.
He hasn't been playing like it this year.
They don't give him enough carries.
They don't. And Austin Eckler. I don't know if you've heard about him, but he was an undrafted rookie this year, and he's playing he's playing lights out.
Really?
Yeah. He's getting more carries than Gordon sometimes which is kind of weird because the thing with Gordon is he can defend or he can block, he can catch out of the backfield, he can run in between tackles, he can cut outside. Obviously we have our receiving core, Keenan Allen. Mike Williams is back, healthy finally.
He's gonna be stuck.
I hope so. Nothing but the best for him. Hunter Henry, up and coming.
Still got Gates too.
Still got Gates. Yeah, getting snaps.
Ageless
more of
Gates.
a mentor role now at this point. Age, Father Prime. Tyrell Williams, I feel like one of the most underrated receivers in the league. And you got speedster Travis Benjamin playing big for us a couple years. A couple games. All three phases of the game are playing well: offense, defense, special teams. We're finishing games finally. Our offensive line is playing better. We're on defense. Defensive wise, we're 6th in passing and receiving.
That's after week 9?
Yeah. After week 9. So
before this week.
Before this week started. And that's without our Pro Bowl cornerback Jason Brett. We only got Hayward back there, but we got 4th in total sacks. Bosa and Ingram lead the league as a duo with 17 total. Denzel Perryman's coming back off an injury, coming off a bye after a tough loss to the Patriots. Gotta give it to him. Belichick, Brady, and monsters, but
still should have had that game though.
At the end of the day, I feel like this game against Jacksonville is win or go home.
Really?
This season. If we lose this game, I don't think we ever saw it at the playoffs. But let's hear about them Steelers, KB.
First of all right. We all know about the offense. Obviously, Ben Roethlisberger isn't the Roethlisberger everyone knows from past, but he's still. He did throw an early interception against the Colts today, which I was not happy about. But he still makes enough plays for this team to put them in a good position.
Definitely.
And I just want to say this. The Steelers are the most complete team in the NFL. The most complete team. Everyone knows about their offense. They have the best running back in the league, the best wide receiver in the league.
Okay.
They have Juju Smith-Schuster.
Arguably.
Who's having the best year right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
AB's a dog. AB is a dog.
With Juju, he's an up-and-coming player, rookie, very talented.
Yeah.
You got Martavius Bryant, who I know has not done anything this year, but he still has the talent to be a number 2 receiver on that team.
Definitely.
Talent.
On any team.
Yeah. And their O-line has been playing very well for the past 5 seasons.
Yeah.
And it's when they're healthy, it's one of the best offensive lines in the league.
When DeCastro's
there,
monster.
He's the best pool offensive line. And pool offensive line is when he starts on, let's say, the right side, and they run it to the left, he pulls to the left. He's one of the best in the business at doing that.
Definitely.
But something people don't realize is how good the Steelers defense is.
That secondary is playing
secondary,
very well.
Artie Burns, Sean Davis, Mike Mitchell, Joe Hayden, who they picked up in the offseason.
Yeah.
I mean,
Huge pickup.
Huge pickup.
I didn't think it was going to turn out like this.
I knew it was going to be good because the cornerback, I knew Artie Burns was going to have a very good year. He was good last year as a rookie, but the cornerback they had on the other side, it was Ross Cockrell, who ended up going to New York, the Giants.
Okay.
He was not good.
Yeah.
He was garbage.
Yeah.
But
Not afraid to say it.
yeah, Joe Hayden going in, veteran guy, knows what he's doing. I knew that was going to help out the secondary. Let me tell you some stats here.
Okay.
So after week 9, total defense, they're 5th in the league. Passing yards, they're 2nd. That's still after Matt Stafford threw for over 400 yards against them last week. Or the Sunday night game. That was last week they had a bye.
Yeah.
So the Sunday night game. Rushing, they're 15th. That's middle of the pack. But I will say they are definitely improving on that side of the field. And
no, I definitely agree. The Steelers defense, they haven't been the steel curtain like the old days, obviously, but they got some young talent, some veterans up there on that D line. Joe Hayden, like I said, as you were saying, was a huge pickup for him. Artie Burns,
he's a dog.
He's a dog on that football field.
But let me go back to the rushing really quick. So
Okay.
After the Jacksonville game, when Leonard Fournette really, he's been one of the best running backs in the league, and he ran all over them.
That was the 5-pick game.
Yes.
5 then, right?
5, yeah. Let me tell you. So the next week they went into Kansas City. Kareem Hunt, who's the leading rusher in the NFL right now, what did he do? 9 carries, 21 yards. The team had a total of 15 carries, including Hunt, with 28 yards. The week after that, they play Cincinnati at home. Joe Mixon was the leading rusher, 7 carries, 48 yards. That's a pretty good day. But total, the Bengals, 17 carries, 71 team yards. And then the next week, they go into Detroit, and I know Detroit never has had a good running game.
Yeah.
But still, Amir Abdullah, 11 carries, 27 yards. Team total, 22 carries for 71 team yards.
Well, what that tells me is they're giving single players carries. Obviously, all those teams don't have 1 3-down back.
Mm-hmm.
They're giving each back at least 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 carries, and they're only getting that amount of yards. They're getting to the ball.
They are.
All the hats are getting to the ball, and which is why I'm excited. As a Chargers fan, I'm not excited.
You're excited.
But if I had to choose a team right now, KB in the AFC to go to the Super Bowl, where's the Super Bowl this year? Houston?
I think it is Houston.
Houston? Yeah, I'm might have to go to that dark side. I don't know.
I know.
We'll see.
And I say the Steelers are the most complete team right now because you look at the other good teams in the NFL. The Patriots obviously have their problem on defense. You talk about the Vikings. Quarterback situation. I'm not a big fan of what their quarterback situation is right now. The Chargers, I do think that they are getting a lot better, but at the beginning of the year, they were very inconsistent.
Yeah.
The Broncos, their offense is horrible. The Saints, I think their defense is just playing a little over the top right now.
Yeah.
And I think eventually they're going to come down to earth. And the Eagles obviously have big injuries on the team. And Jason Peters going down for the Eagles, that's going to kill them.
Ajayi is a bit of a relief, but yeah, that's huge.
That's going
for
to kill them.
Yeah. One thing I don't think you're giving, one team I don't think you're giving enough credit to for as all around team, Kansas City.
I did forget about that. What is Kansas City in the last 4 games? They're on a bye this week.
Well, yeah, they are. I think they've lost 3 straight, if I'm correct.
1-3.
Yeah, 1-3.
I forget who they beat, but they are 1-3.
Yeah.
Because they were 5-0 and now they're 6-3 after the Steelers gave them the first loss.
Yeah.
The thing with the Chiefs, first of all, their defense is not good. Without Eric Berry, this defense is not good.
Just like Houston playing.
He's playing well. Marcus Peters is doing what he has to do.
Yeah.
But you take Eric Berry out, I mean,
he's
that's
the leader.
He's the leader on the team, and that really hurts them. And on the offensive side, if you limit Kareem Hunt, it shows that Alex Smith goes back to the regular Alex Smith, and that's an average quarterback.
Yeah, average at best.
I mean, the Steelers. I will say this: the Steelers always play the Chiefs very well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because of this. Well, last year, when the Chiefs didn't have Kareem Hunt, if you take away Tyreek Hill and you take away Travis Kelce, that team doesn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
This year, the Steelers took away Kareem Hunt to start, took Travis Kelce out of the mix, and took Tyreek Hill out of the mix, and then the Chiefs can't do anything out of it.
Yeah. And it's like a double-edged sword because they have such a complex playbook that if one of their starting players were to go down and a reserve had to come in, they're confused. Like they're not going to be as adept to it as a starting player like a Tyreek Hill or a Travis Kelce would be, which is understandable. So, I mean, like I said, KB, these Steelers scare me. So a huge trade in the NBA has happened this past week with Eric Bledsoe going to the Bucks for Greg Monroe and a 2018 first-round pick. KB, what do you think about this trade?
I love it. I
had a feeling you would.
First of all, I'm now officially a Milwaukee Bucks fan. I moved away from the Wizards, so I'm a Bucks fan.
Okay.
So
Why is that?
Because I just hate watching the Wizards play. They play no defense.
That's true.
John Wall.
They could.
I love John Wall, but he's starting to get to that mentality of just a superstar, where he complains about everything. But this trade for the Bucks puts them as the second best team in the East. The Cavs are better because of LeBron James.
At this moment, or
just to end the year,
okay.
Because I think the Cavs will regain everything. They'll get their shit together.
Okay.
But so you look at their starting lineup now, or what I think should be their starting lineup, because they might toy with it a little bit.
The Cavs or the Bucks?
The Bucks.
The Bucks, okay.
Bledsoe's going to be the 1. That's going to push Malcolm Brogdon to the 2.
Well, Brogdon's more naturally a 2.
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah.
Because if you remember at UVA, he was the 2 and London Parentis was the 1.
Yep.
So that's Brogdon's natural spot. I mean, don't get me wrong, Brogdon played very well at the point guard position.
Oh, yeah.
But
Rookie of the Year, obviously.
Yeah, but Bledsoe is a more natural 1.
Definitely.
You got Chris Middleton at the 3. Giannis will be the 4, and then either Thon Maker or Henson will be the 5.
Yeah.
So it's going to increase their scoring. They have another playmaker, and their bench is now even deeper. They have Tony Snell coming off the bench. They have Jason Terry coming off the bench. They have Dellavedova coming off the bench.
Yeah.
And something people are forgetting, who's going to be coming back this year? Mr. Jabari Parker. Oh, you forgot about that, didn't you?
When's he coming back?
I don't know.
When did he get hurt?
He got hurt
training camp?
No, he got hurt last year during the playoffs, I think.
Okay.
Or before the playoffs. But I do think that he will come back soon.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously when Jabari Parker comes back, it'll take him some time to get used to everything. But when he comes back and he gets his stride going, this is one of the best teams in the NBA.
Wow.
Because Eric Bledsoe, in my opinion, is still a top 12 point guard in the league. His defense is...
Stretch.
Yeah. His defense is shaky, but
that's what I take him for.
His defense?
Eric Bledsoe?
Well, Brogdon's definitely a better defender. So, between...
Than Bledsoe?
Yes!
No.
Okay, well, with that said, you think Bledsoe's a good defender. I think Bledsoe's an okay defender, so we can admit that he's a good enough defender.
Yeah.
He's a scorer, too.
Yeah.
And he's, like I said, he's a guy that can make plays for this team. And it will also bring some pressure off of Giannis. Because now teams don't only focus on Giannis, because if you just focus on Giannis...
Yeah.
Bledsoe, who's been the leading scorer for the Suns ever since he's been on the team.
With Devin Booker on
With Devin Booker,
yeah.
So I really, really like this move. And the fact that they lost Greg Monroe, who's a guy coming off the bench for them, I don't think it will hurt them that much.
I think it's good trade value.
I think it is, too.
It's perfect.
You get a very good point guard for someone coming off the bench when you already have a lot of very good big men to begin with. And they lose a 2018 first-round pick, which is most likely going to be a high pick anyways.
Yeah.
We're talking like 20s.
Yeah.
So they go out and they don't lose much to get a very good point guard, and it makes this team very good.
In terms of in terms of Phoenix, I like it for them. You know, they get they get that first round pick. You know, they're trying to load up on young talent.
Well, I mean, Bledsoe didn't want to play there anyway.
Yeah.
So they're trying to get whatever they could.
Exactly. So they still have Josh Jackson, Devin Booker. They got Alex Len. And now with Greg Monroe in the lineup, that'll be interesting to see what happens with that.
Marquise Chris,
yep, definitely. In terms of the Bucks, I think they're the clear winner of this trade.
Definitely.
I think Eric Bledsoe is one of there's not even a handful of guards in the league that could cover that could guard Kyrie Irving. Or attempt to. I think Eric Bledsoe's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I think Patrick Beverley's one of them. I think
Clay.
I mean, I still in that Christmas game last year. But
I mean, had his ways with the Warriors.
Avery Bradley.
Yes.
Avery Bradley.
Yes,
like those are the guys I think of when I think of defensive-minded guards. But so in terms of the East, I mean, all right, the Cavs are the Cavs.
Yeah.
They're gonna do what they're gonna do. Everyone's panicking right now. Oh, they're not even in the playoffs right now.
Just wait for them to gel and wait for Isaiah Thomas to come back.
Yeah.
Because Isaiah Thomas is going to be a big factor for the Cavs when he comes back in January.
Yeah, so he's going to be taking big shots for him.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that, even with LeBron and Wade on that team. But someone has to guard Kyrie, someone has to guard IT, someone has to guard Rose, someone has to guard John Wall, someone has to guard Kyle Lowry, Kemba Walker. Fultz if he pans out.
We're just talking about guards in the East.
Yeah, those are the guards in the East. So I think this is huge for them. As far as I'm not sure if this takes them all the way to second place in the East. I still have. I mean, it's very possible. I mean, they're.
You said
the two other teams.
Who are you saying? Let me hear your two other teams.
Well, the two other teams I believe. My top four teams in the East basically are the Cavs, the Bucks, the Wizards, and the Celtics.
Okay.
No particular order.
Okay.
But it'll be interesting because Cleveland very well might not finish at the top again, and
I don't really think they care because LeBron James, once he gets, I mean, we always talk about when Cleveland gets to the playoffs, that switch that they turn on.
Yeah.
It doesn't. They can finish as an 8 seed. They're still going to the finals.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Well, what I'm curious about is we're talking about LeBron turning that switch on with less pressure on him with less pressure on Giannis because of this Eric Bledsoe trade. Is there another gear of Giannis that we haven't seen yet? That's what I'm curious to see.
That's a good question, but I don't think there is. I think what you're seeing from Giannis is what you're going to get, and that's a guy that will get you double-double, 30 points a game, 15 rebounds a game, and a guy that can just take over the game offensively and defensively, just like that.
Well, and especially going back to the Eric Bledsoe part of this, it's a guard-heavy league.
Mm-hmm.
He will take a lot of guards out of the equation.
Yeah.
And then if you do that, their defensive efficiency is going to go up dramatically.
Now they have two legit defenders at the guard position.
And then plus Giannis obviously speaks for himself. This team is scary.
It's a very
scary team. It's happening all of the cards are like laying out on the table for him. So, next we're going to talk about another injury that happened in the NFL.
Impacting.
Very sad, very sad. But we'll get to that next.
All right, so going back to the NFL here, another huge season injury happened this past Thursday in the Seattle. Did they play Arizona? Yeah, Seattle-Arizona game. Richard Sherman, the all-pro corner, goes down for the season with a ruptured Achilles. How does this affect the Seahawks season?
It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart, KB, because, Richard Sherman, you don't find many guys like him anywhere, in any sport.
Nope.
He's the Muhammad Ali of the NFL talking, fly like a butterfly, sting like a bee,
Crabtree?
Yeah.
Crabtree.
Exactly. Don't try to be the star receiver like Crabtree. Aaron Andrews had no idea what to say on that, honestly. But, yeah.
Andrew, that's my girl, too.
Shout out Aaron Andrews.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Seattle, they play a cover 3 defensive scheme. That's their base. So, and he's their left cornerback. Mm-hmm. So if you're the quarterback of the opposing team, he's going to be to your right. So if I'm a quarterback and my number 1 receiver is lined up I'm going to line him up on the right side 99% of the time now against the Seahawks.
Yep.
And I don't have to throw across my body.
Nope.
It's just easier. They have a rookie, Shaq Griffin, in as he's their number 2 corner. Now he's going to be their number 1. He's looked decent. Excuse me. He's looked decent, but he's not going to be Richard Sherman.
He's not Richard Sherman.
Exactly. I mean, this guy all pro for how many years now? But so they don't throw the ball his way anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're definitely going to. Earl Thomas has had nagging injuries all season too. Cam Chancellor's going to have to step up on that defense. Shaq Griffin as well. But it's a huge blow to the Seahawks. I think the Rams now, especially with the way they've been playing, they're locked in that division. Seahawks, I still believe with Pete Carroll, Russell Wilson, Magic, they make the wild card.
Makes the NFC a lot easier now.
Makes definitely for other teams. But yeah, he's the leader of that defense. They're just in the locker room and on the field, they're gonna suffer. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. What do you got from the KB?
I mean, first of all, like you just said, he's the leader of this team on the field and in the locker room. Mm-hmm. The vocal leader of this team. Everyone looks up to him. When something goes wrong, they look to Richard Sherman to make that big play.
Definitely.
He's the one that makes that big interception. Bats that big pass down that could potentially be a game winner for the opposing team.
Yeah.
You look at his stats this year, 35 tackles, 2 interceptions, 7 pass defended. It's not something that will get you jumping out of your seat, but it's still very good stats. Considering what you said, they don't throw it to him.
There are corners in the league you don't throw to. You don't throw to Sherman, you don't throw to PP, you don't throw to Peters, you don't throw to
Xavier
Rhodes. Exactly.
I mean, teams try not to throw to Jalen Ramsey, but they got AJ Bouye on the other side, so it's kind of hard.
Keenan got him today. We'll see.
And looking at Sherman's career stats, 32 career interceptions. He came into the league in 2011. Mm-hmm. He started only 10 of those games. So 32 career interceptions. 2 of them were returned for touchdowns. He has 5 forced fumbles, and then
as a corner, and he's not he's a lengthy corner, but he's not a big corner by any means.
And 367 total tackles. So, I mean, like we said, top 3 cornerback in the league.
Yeah.
I mean, it kills the Seahawks because they rely so heavily on that secondary with Richard Sherman, with Earl Thomas, with Cam Chancellor. And now you take one of those 3 out, it's tough.
It's called, they're the LOB, the Legion of Boom. It's not really a Legion anymore. No. It's really just Boom with Cam.
Yeah, with Cam.
At this point.
Earl Thomas.
Exactly.
And you, like you said, you move Shaq Griffin, who's a rookie, you move him over as the number 1 cornerback.
Yeah.
I don't even know who their number 2 cornerback is.
Yeah, exactly.
It really kills the Seahawks. And you look, I had the Seahawks as a Super Bowl favorite a couple weeks ago. And with that injury, I agree with you, they're going to squeak into the wild card, but this team could struggle in the playoffs.
Yeah.
They could lose in the first round.
Yeah.
A team that could have went to the Super Bowl. A team that could have easily won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, especially with the way New England's playing this year. I mean, let's be real. New England's gonna make it
Yeah.
to the AFC Championship game.
Oh, yeah.
Regardless.
They got Tom Brady.
Yeah. I mean, but it's he ruptured his Achilles. I mean, Eric Berry all over again. You know, two guys in this league you hate to see happen to. It's like J.J. Watt getting hurt. Everyone's getting hurt.
Oh, there's an all-pro team on the sidelines because of season-ending injuries.
Odell's out there.
Brandon Marshall, Eric Berry, Richard Sherman, J.J. Watt, Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Watson. That's a nice backup for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, exactly.
David Johnson, Allen Robinson. I mean, you could just keep going, and it's Joe
ridiculous.
Thomas, the left tackle from the Browns.
There's literally an all-pro team on injured reserve right now.
If you take that team, they could run away with the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
This is such a
Maybe they should start a team.
Why not? This is such a bad injury for not only the Seahawks but the NFL because the ratings have gone down with the protests and everything. The national anthem protests, but this is a guy that people want to watch the Seahawks because of him and Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Because of the plays he makes,
Yeah.
how he talks, how he has all the confidence in the world. I mean, it's tough to see a guy go down like this, and it's just another injury in the books that just is going to kill the NFL and the ratings.
Exactly. I completely agree, and especially someone like Richard Sherman. He's not all pro for no reason. No one. There are very few people in this league that work harder than Richard Sherman, and I know that for 100% fact. But yeah, we'll be back in a little bit talking about our week 10 predictions for the NFL this week. Woo woo! All right, so with week 10 in the NFL continuing today, let's make some predictions for the games. KB, how about you start?
All right. So I'll start with the Bills-Saints game first.
Okay.
Bills are at home. I got Bills 27, Saints 24. I just think right now the Bills are playing very well. And Tyrod Taylor looks pretty good this year. He's looking pretty good.
He's playing like he played a couple spurts of games under Rex Ryan a couple years back, but no, I agree. I have the Bills winning. I have them winning a closer game. I got them winning 19-17.
Oh, wow.
So,
all right.
Yep.
So next game, let's go to Bears at home against the Packers. Got Bears 28, Packers 10. I just think the Bears defense is playing very well this year.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sorry, but the Packers without Aaron Rodgers, it's
a whole story.
It's a bad team.
Yeah.
Brett Hundley is not very good in my opinion. So I just think the Bears are just going to roll all over the Packers in that game.
Without a bad man, they're a bad team.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I got the Bears. I didn't have them winning as much just because it's a divisional game. I got the Bears winning 17-14 over Green Bay.
Okay. Next game, Lions at home against the Browns. I got Lions 31, Browns 17. Browns. I mean, the name.
Yeah.
It's Browns.
We don't really need
their first game, or their first win isn't coming this week.
Yeah.
Lions at home.
I hope they win a game this season.
I hope they do too.
I think it's not coming this week because I got them.
Maybe they'll actually draft a quarterback.
Yeah, exactly. I got them losing to the Lions 27-10.
Okay.
So.
Next game, Steelers on the road at Indianapolis. I got Steelers 27, Colts 13. Like I talked about earlier, the Steelers are the most complete team in the NFL. I just think right now the Colts aren't at the position they want to be in.
Yeah.
The defense isn't that good. Malik Hooker going down really hurts. Really hurts that defense.
Yeah. Another injury, man.
Yeah. Another injury.
Yeah.
So I just think the Steelers, they'll go behind Le'Veon Bell and they'll just run all over the Colts.
Yeah, definitely. I got the Steelers winning 34-20.
Okay.
I still think the Colts will put points up, especially with T.Y. playing today. But that Steelers offense, I don't know how the Colts are going to be able to stop it. So.
Next game, Jaguars home against the Chargers. Man, this was a tough game because I know the Chargers is your team. I said the Jags were going to pull it out 17-14. I said it was going to be a very close game though.
Yeah.
The Jaguars defense is just, oh man,
Yeah.
that's a scary defense.
They scare me. They scare me too. Not enough. Not enough.
Okay.
I got us winning 13-10 today. It's going to be a defensive game.
Mm-hmm.
The Jags defense is what it is.
Cold now.
Yeah,
Cold.
It's getting cold now. They're in Jacksonville. They're both accustomed to good weather. But I don't know. I think with the momentum the Chargers defense is playing with, I think could play as well as Jacksonville's. But I'm taking my offense over their offense. I think maybe a little Austin Eckler action happens today.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll see.
Good call. Next.
But by the way, Chargers 13, Jags 10.
That was the score.
Yeah, that's the score prediction.
Next game, Jets going into Tampa Bay to play the Bucs. I have the Jets pulling that out 28-21. I don't like the Bucs this year. I think that they're very overrated going into the year. Jameis Winston obviously hurt, so Ryan Fitzpatrick getting the start. Winston wasn't playing very well to begin with.
Exactly.
The defense has so many question marks, and the Jets are playing very well. They're playing good right now. So I have the Jets winning by a touchdown there.
I got the Jets winning by more than a touchdown. I don't think the Bucs score a touchdown.
Whoa!
Mike Evans is out this week.
Yeah,
Suspended. Jameis Winston's not playing. I got them losing to the Jets 20-9. Yeah.
3 field goals?
Yeah. If even.
Next game, Cincinnati going into Tennessee. I have the Bengals winning that 13-10. I am not a fan of Tennessee's offense. I think that I don't know what it is. This offense could be putting up 30-plus points with Mariota, with DeMarco Murray, with Derrick Henry. It might be the receivers. I don't know, but I don't like this offense right now. The Bengals, yes, Vontae Burfict is a nut on the defensive side.
Lack for a better term.
Yeah, but it's still a pretty decent defense. So
Yeah.
I think
Marvin Lewis.
Yeah, I think the Bengals will find a way to pull one out this week against the Titans.
I actually disagree with you, KB, and I told you this last week. I told you I think the Titans will make a wild card spot in the AFC. I got them winning in close game, 24-21. They sound a little bit like the old Chargers to me. They got those pieces, not finishing out games, struggling against the Browns a couple weeks ago. But no, I got them winning this game by a field goal.
Okay. Next game, talking Minnesota going into D.C. I got the Vikings winning 24-17. I think the Vikings are playing very well right now. I know I said earlier in the show I don't like their quarterback situation.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Bridgewater was active today, but Case Keenum was still going to start. So we're going to see how that plays out.
Yeah.
The Vikings defense is just, it's a scary defense.
Harrison Smith is leading the league in tackles as a safety.
That's crazy.
No one gets credit. Man gets no credit for
He
what he
really
does.
doesn't. But so I have the Vikings by a touchdown in that game.
Vikings by a touchdown?
Mm-hmm.
I got I couldn't find my score. So this is going to be more of a defensive game, in my opinion. Well, I'm definitely with the Vikings. Skins defense playing quietly well too.
Yeah.
I don't think their offense clicks well enough to beat the Vikings, so I got the Vikings winning 16-13.
All right. Next, Texans going into LA to play the Rams. I have the Rams blowing out the Texans 34-17. I think the Rams are one of the best teams in the NFL right now. Their offense is just ridiculous. And the Texans with Watson going down, that kills them on the offensive side and just as a team in general. And we've seen before that the Texans defense is not that good.
Yeah, especially without Watt.
Without Watt.
Clowney doesn't have his running mate.
Cushing got suspended earlier this year.
Exactly.
So that defense is not good. So I have Rams 34, Texans 17.
Yeah. I have a blowout too. Rams 48, Texans 26.
Yeah.
And that Texans 26 is garbage time points.
Yeah. That was my Texans 17.
It seems like every week now the Rams are getting up 30, 40 points and not having to play the rest of the game. So
next, probably the game everyone's going to be watching this week. Cowboys-Falcons.
Yes.
First game, Cowboys without Zeke.
Finally.
Jeez.
After 5 times they said this man wasn't going to play. Oh, wait, you're going to play the next day. Not this time.
But with that said, I still think the Cowboys will pull one out. I'm very close, though. I have Cowboys 28, Falcons 27. I think Dak is going to prove that he is the top quarterback in the league, even without Zeke. I think he's going to put up big numbers. The Falcons' offense, very shaky, very inconsistent.
Yeah.
But I still think they'll put up some points against the Cowboys' defense. But I'm very close game. But I think Dak and the boys pull one out there.
Okay. I'm going to go against you, KB.
Okay.
I got the Falcons at home. You know, they're playing in that dome. I got them winning 35-27.
Wow.
I think just biased. Julio Jones is on my fantasy team. So maybe he gets me that extra touchdown that you had from your 28-27 prediction.
Okay.
But
I hope he doesn't.
I mean, we'll see. I think, but Dallas is on the road. They're not in Jerry World. They don't play well when they're not in Jerry World.
Yeah.
With Zeke's first game out, we'll see how that goes. I mean, they still have McFadden. They have Alfred Morris, but they're not Zeke.
Yeah.
Dak, I do believe this team starts and ends with Dak, but Zeke is a big shoulder to lean on when you need him. So I think the Falcons take this game at home.
Next game, probably the shithole game of the week. The Giants going to play the 49ers. The 49ers will pull out their first win of the year, winning 17-14.
Yes, sir.
I'm not even going to watch this game. I don't care about this game. This is a team that has a combined of 1 win.
Yeah.
The Giants have so many injuries that you can't even name all of them.
Yeah.
The 49ers are the 49ers.
Yeah.
I don't know if Garoppolo is going to start this game.
I don't think so, which is why I don't mind watching it.
So, but I do think the 49ers will squeak out with their first win of the year in this game.
Yeah, I agree. I got them winning 19-9. I don't have the Giants scoring a touchdown, just like the Buccaneers.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think they're. The past couple weeks, I've been noticing the Niners' defense starting to click a little bit, slowly. I mean, they are young. They're who did they play last week?
I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't even remember. But I remember compared to the beginning of the season, where I'm like, whoa, this team's letting everyone score at least 30, 40 points against them. This is not good. But no, I think they're slowly. I think they could be the Jags or the Rams of next season.
Really?
I with Garoppolo in the lineup, depending on how they play free agency and the draft and everything, could be.
Put a stamp on that.
We'll see.
Stamp that.
I will stamp it. Niners. Hey, Cali boy.
All right. Next game, Patriots going into Denver. We all know the struggles that Brady's had in Denver, but this is not the same Denver team.
Not the same Denver team at all.
I have Patriots 31, Broncos 20. I have the Broncos getting 7 of that 20 by a defensive touchdown.
Okay.
This Broncos offense is horrible. It's one of the worst offenses. All right, and after a crazy day yesterday in college football,
Definitely.
the rankings, man, they're going to change a lot.
Definitely.
But, so let's talk about some of these big games for a little bit. Dom, why don't you get started on the Georgia-Auburn game? What you think about that?
KB, last week we were just talking about how we were arguing whether Georgia or Alabama should be number 1, who should be number 1, who should be number 2. I was arguing for Georgia. And you kept telling me that they haven't played a team, and I was like, I mean, that's debatable, but now that they play a real team in Auburn and they lose 40-17,
they didn't just lose.
Yeah.
They got their ass handed to them.
Yeah, that's bad.
Mm-hmm.
I understand you're 9-1, but now when you actually play some serious competition, you get blown out by over or close to 30 points. It's not a good look.
Mm-hmm.
I understand Auburn. It was Auburn was at home, but still not an excuse for a team that was being labeled as a top 2 team in the country.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, how The Miami Notre Dame game, KB.
All I gotta say, the U
is back.
They are back. And with Notre Dame, it is the same situation they were in with Georgia. I said they were overrated.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't played anyone.
Yeah.
And this shows. Miami, they're undefeated. They played very good teams.
Mm-hmm.
Notre Dame, they were definitely on a hot streak for a little.
Yeah.
Their one loss was to Georgia, actually, the second week.
Yeah.
But that was before Notre Dame really got to be Notre Dame.
Yeah.
You know, I was watching the end of the Bama game for a while before I turned this game on, and I saw the score of this game, and I just turned it right back off because the U proved my point.
Yeah.
They proved that Notre Dame is overrated, and with this loss, their season's not done because they're still going to get a bowl game.
Yeah.
But if you look at it as every team's goal is to get into that Final Four,
Yeah.
it's over.
It definitely is.
They don't play anyone for the rest of the year.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have that huge win or multiple win factors to get them into the top four.
Definitely not.
The U just absolutely dicked on that team.
Yeah. And they helped their chances of getting into that top four.
They're back.
Yeah.
The U.
Not like that 0-1 team. Not like that 0-1 team.
No. But you see them with the chains on the sidelines?
Oh my
They got some swagger.
Dude,
they got
that's
some
all
swagger.
they are. But Notre Dame couldn't score until the third quarter. They scored one time this game, which baffles me for a 3 seed.
Doesn't surprise me. Overrated. Now, another blowout that people probably weren't expecting. Oklahoma TCU. Oklahoma rolled.
And the scoreboard doesn't show that. You know, there was garbage points again. It was 38-20, but 17 and 21 points total in the first half. They didn't need to score again in the second half to win this game, which was the craziest part. And coming from a TCU team that I thought with Kenny Hill, you know, I love Kenny Hill as a college quarterback. You know, it's a huge game for the Big 12, right? If especially Oklahoma, if they had lost this game, I believe that would have killed their chances of getting into the college football playoffs. Then now I don't think TCU has a shot.
No, definitely
not. After losing that bad, like I said, Oklahoma didn't even have to try the second half.
And let me just say one thing. As a Penn State fan, I'm going out and saying this. Baker Mayfield is the Heisman winner. Baker Mayfield will win the Heisman. This dude.
I think it's time. He's been in
it. It seems like forever.
Yeah, since he was a freshman.
It's his time because he's going to be gone next year. He's going to win it. Oklahoma with this win, they're going to make that Final Four.
Boomer Sooners, baby. They're booming right now.
One problem I have with the Big 12 is these teams don't play defense. I mean, you go top from bottom.
Our best defensive team is in the Big 12 I would say is probably either Kansas State or Oklahoma State.
Yeah. Oh no, not Oklahoma State. No.
Exactly. That's kind of my point.
Yeah. But high-powered offense with terrible defense.
Yeah.
And that's my biggest concern for a team like Oklahoma if they get in. For a team like Oklahoma State if they get in. When they face teams like in Alabama, like at Clemson, these teams that play defense.
Yeah.
That's my biggest concern with the Big 12.
Yeah. I think it's going to be Oklahoma, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Out of the Big 12. And there was one more game, that Ohio State, Michigan State game. 12 seed, Michigan State, 13 seed, Ohio State.
Now.
Really didn't seem like it.
Now. Ohio State is the second most talented team in college football, behind Alabama.
With the second best coach in college football.
Yes. They played like a team that they should have been playing all
Yes.
Their loss last week to Iowa was just a bad loss for them. It was coming off a huge win against Penn State. Iowa is, when you play Iowa on the road, that's a trap game for any Big Ten team.
Yeah.
You saw earlier this year, Penn State almost lost to Iowa.
Last year they did. Michigan did.
Yeah. Like, Iowa is a trap game for any team going in. Ohio State, Michigan State should not be the 12th seed.
No.
They got lucky with the win against Penn State.
Yeah.
I think that Penn State-Ohio State game really took a toll on both teams. Mm-hmm. It got Ohio State, they just got so overconfident thinking they beat Penn State, so they're going to roll the rest of the year. Penn State was so down on themselves for their first loss of the year that they're just like, what's the point now?
Yeah.
So that game was such a bad game for both those teams. Mm-hmm. But Ohio State bounced back and really made a good point of showing why they can still make the top 4 if they win out, if they win the Big Ten championship. Yeah. Because, like I said earlier, this is still the second most talented team in college football. That defensive line, that front seven is ridiculous.
Nick Bosa. I mean, but the score says it all, like 48-3.
Michigan State is not that good. They are not the 12th best team in the country.
Yeah. But I think, and Ohio State isn't the 13th best team in the country either, which is like 48.
Ohio State will go up. Michigan State will go very far down.
Yeah, they might fall out of the 25th.
And this last game, another Big 12 game.
This was huge.
Woo!
This was huge.
Shootout. Oklahoma State over Iowa State, 49-42.
I see. It's just more Mason Rudolph week after week. You know, like this game was down to the wire, and Mason Rudolph pulls one out of his hat, magic hat that he's worn all year. 3-2, 5-2 in the Big 12. They have a tiebreaker over Iowa now, obviously, or Iowa State, excuse me. But I mean, they were the 15th seed this past week, and Iowa State was the 21st. I don't believe either of them have shot at making top 4 anyway, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But I guess they both still have some fighting them, scoring close to 50 points. So
well, actually, one more game. I forgot about this game. My best team in the country, Alabama, went into Mississippi State. Yeah. That was one hell of a game, too. I watched that game from start to finish. Yeah. Now, I will say with Alabama, that was probably the first time this season that they've really been contested by it.
Alright guys, we're back and we're staying in college football here. Obviously the top 10 will be mixed up a lot after 4 teams in the top 10 went down yesterday. So KB, who do you have as your top 10 college football teams as of right now?
Woo! To start, number 10. Number 10 was a little tricky for me because there's a lot of teams in there that could be in there.
Bubble teams?
Bubble teams, a lot of bubble teams. Yeah. Number 10, I just had Oklahoma State.
Okay. Respectable.
I mean, I don't know. That was a very tough position for me.
Yeah.
And then number 9, I put Penn State in there. I know they had 2 bad losses, but you think both those losses were on the road by a combined of 4 points.
Yeah.
Both those losses easily could have been wins for them.
They were 2 good teams.
Yeah. So I think Penn State, even if they won one of those games, won one of those games, I think they would be in the top 4. But since they lost both, it's not a question for them. Yeah. Number 8, I have USC.
USC? Okay.
USC it's a team after their loss earlier this year. Yeah. They kind of flew under the radar a little bit. You know, Sam Darnold hasn't been what everyone thought Sam Darnold was going to be. Yeah. But they're playing very well right now.
Yep, definitely.
I think in their conference, I think they can run away with the conference, the Pac-12. Yeah. There are no teams in the Pac-12.
Yeah, honestly. Stanford's not a force anymore.
Washington's not good. So I think USC, I can easily see them getting into the top 4 too, depending on other teams if they lost or not.
Definitely.
7, I have Wisconsin.
Okay.
the Wisconsin's undefeated, but I don't have Wisconsin that high because they have not played anyone.
Yeah.
Because with the Big Ten, how it's split into the East and West.
Yeah.
In Wisconsin side, there's no one. In the other side, it's Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan State, Iowa,
Michigan.
Michigan.
Yeah.
Those are 5 very good college football teams.
Yeah.
Well, not very good, but 5 good college football teams.
Yeah, reputable for sure.
Right. So that's why I have Wisconsin at 7. 6, I have Ohio State. I really, their win yesterday really impressed me, and it showed me that they're still one of the most dominant teams in college football.
Yep.
Number 5, off their big win, I have Auburn.
Okay.
I think, at home against Georgia, they absolutely blew them out of the water. That was a good win for them.
Yeah.
I don't think they're quite there yet at the top, but I mean, Auburn's a good team.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Number 4, I got the U, Miami. Again, another big win against not so good team apparently.
Yeah.
So, but they're still top 4 team in the country.
Yeah.
The problem is, if Miami wants to get in to the Final Four, they're going to have to win out, and they're going to have to win the ACC championship, and it's going to be against Clemson.
Yeah.
And the same thing goes with Clemson.
Yeah.
I mean, if
Well,
they
I'd
want to
take
get
Clemson.
in,
I'd take Miami. I mean, I know Dabo was there last year.
That's where we disagree a little bit. But number 3, I have Oklahoma. Baker Mayfield, my Heisman winner right now.
Yeah.
He's taking that team and that offense to a new level right now.
Yeah.
Big 12.
Coming from Mr. Saquon over here.
Saquon's underperformed a lot in the past couple weeks.
Yeah.
But so I think Oklahoma will win the Big 10 or Big 12 championship, which will put them in top 4.
Okay.
Number 2, Clemson. They should have stayed at number 2 all year because this is a team with 1 loss. The 1 loss was at Syracuse, and people forget Kelly Bryant left that game early because of a concussion. If Kelly Bryant's in that game, they win that game. Clemson is the 2nd best team in college football right now.
When's the last time you heard of the name Syracuse? Carmelo Anthony.
Okay.
A different sport.
At Syracuse, it's conference game. That's a tough game.
Tough game.
But look at Florida State. They lose their starting quarterback. They're horrible now.
Yeah, that's true.
In college football, if you lose your starting quarterback,
you're
done.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but you're done.
Season's over.
You've seen it with Florida State. Obviously, you saw with Clemson. They lose Kelly Bryant for, I think, half the game, and they lose to a team that no one knows in college football. So I love Clemson. But like I said with Miami, it's going to come down to that ACC championship game to see who gets into that top 4 because they're not putting both those teams in there.
Yeah.
I just don't see them doing it.
Oh, Clemson and Miami? No.
The winner of the ACC championship game will go into the Final Four.
Yeah.
And then number 1, the boys of Bama.
Yeah.
They should have been number 1 since the start. They had the best team.
Yeah.
And they prove it. Next week, I think they play Mercer.
Yeah.
And then they play Auburn, which is going to be a good game to watch.
Where I went to friggin' middle school, dude.
Yeah. Honestly. But, so Bama's number 1. And that's my top 10 right there.
I'm very, 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 very similar. I got number 10, I got your boys, Penn State.
Okay.
You know, I still got them cracking the top 10. Those 2 losses did hurt them, for sure. Trace has been playing pretty sporadic the past couple weeks. He's been throwing touchdowns, he's been throwing picks as well.
The problem I've seen this year with Trace is it seems like when he's back in the pocket, he's scared sometimes. He's so fidgety back there, and that causes him to, I mean, there's been so many, like I watch every Penn State game, and there's been so many plays where he's had open receivers, he's overthrown them. He's had guys that could have catched the ball, he just misses them, throws it to the defender. So he's, like you said, he's been very sporadic right now, and it helps when you have the best running back in college football right next
exactly.
to you.
Yeah, definitely. I think so they have 2 losses. One's to Ohio State. They were trying to get that game back from last year, weren't able to. but I still got them in the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9, I got USC.
USC?
Still, they run the Pac-12,
Yeah.
even though there's no one in there really. Darnold, not what everyone thought he was, at least at this moment in time, but definitely still has the potential to be where everyone thought he could end up.
Mm-hmm.
But 9 is where they're at right now,
Yeah.
just plain and simple. Number 8, I got Georgia. They fell down. They did get smacked by Auburn.
They got smacked.
I don't think that they're low in my top 10, but I still think they deserve top 10.
Who have they beaten?
9 teams.
9 shitty teams.
How many
other than Notre Dame?
Only 1 or 2 other teams in the nation can say that. They beat 9 teams, so I'll take them for that.
Okay. We'll see.
7, I still have Ohio State at number 7.
Okay.
I know they had a huge win yesterday against Michigan State. Now it seems like they're starting to click again, like we were talking about earlier.
That loss at Iowa scares me though.
Yeah, it does. Like we said, whenever a Big Ten team plays Iowa, it's a toss-up. But Ohio, still got Urban Meyer, one of the GOATs. JT Barrett's been playing well. Finally,
I will say that has surprised me a lot.
And that tells me that this team will go as far as JT Barrett takes them, because he wasn't playing well earlier in the year, and they weren't doing it much. Now he's playing well. They're playing well.
Yeah.
Winning games. Number 6, I got Auburn.
Okay.
They beat that undefeated Georgia team. Not quite in the top 4 yet, but
they're right there.
Yeah,
that's why I have them at 5. They're right there.
Yeah.
And if they win out, if they win out, that means they beat Bama. If they beat Bama, they're for sure into the college football playoffs. But I don't see them beating Bama, but I do see them being at that 5 or 6 seed.
Yeah.
A Rose Bowl,
exactly.
type team.
Number 5, I got Clemson.
Okay.
I don't have them as high as you.
Tell me why.
Okay. Dabo he's always been good at making teams or how do I phrase this? Putting teams together that work as a cohesive unit, especially on defense. Mm-hmm. But like you said, the one game Kelly Bryant was, he didn't play, they lost. And then, excuse me. In the ACC, they're not. Other than Miami, who else do they have?
Yeah, exactly. That conference is very weak in the ACC.
Yeah,
and
so
you saw it yesterday with Virginia Tech losing to Georgia Tech.
Exactly. The ACC is not that. I don't understand why there's so many teams personally that in the ACC that are in the top 25. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So number 4, I got Wisconsin. Ooh. Year in, year out. Performs, loses no more than 2 games every single year.
This is Wisconsin. They don't have a good schedule. They're always ranked going in. They don't play anyone until the Big Ten championship when they have to play someone from the other side.
Yeah.
When they have to play an Ohio State, when they have to play a Penn State, or a Michigan, or a Michigan State.
Yeah.
I will see how good Wisconsin is when it comes to this Big Ten championship. When it looks like they will be playing Ohio State. We'll see how for real this team is.
Yeah.
Because if Wisconsin wins out and wins the Big Ten championship, they are in.
Oh,
for
100%.
Sure.
Yeah.
As an undefeated team, they will be in.
Yeah, definitely. And it's just the consistency factor. And they're not, every game they win, they're not just, hanging in there.
All right, so college basketball started this past Friday.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite time of the year.
Oh, yeah.
Woo!
Let's get it.
So, Dom, for predictions for the year, who do you think is going to be top 10 teams?
Top 10 teams, college basketball. I think, first of all, guys, it's going to be a very, very interesting year.
Oh, yeah.
We have some teams that we know are going to be in the top 10, and some teams that are borderline, and maybe even some wild cards. But can't go too crazy at the preseason with the preseason predictions. At number 10, I got USC. I got USC just cracking the top 10.
Okay.
Just because in the Pac-12, I don't think that. Well, there's Arizona. Arizona's
That's
gonna
it.
run.
It's
Yeah.
USC, and Arizona in that game.
Exactly. UCLA's not even Westwood. I don't know what they're gonna do in Westwood this year. Yeah, I got USC at number 10. West Virginia, ears up at number 9. Let's go. I think they could be higher than that.
No.
Not after what I saw against that Texas A&M game. That opening game, our defense looked like we were playing against kids who played with 23-inch basketballs at recess. Like,
my problem with West Virginia, they can't score.
it's all in Javon.
It is. And I know I told you this the other day. When they get Issa Ahmad back, it's going to help their scoring a little bit. But for West Virginia to be successful, it's press Virginia.
Yeah,
They
is.
need to press all the time, force turnovers, get easy buckets, and they need to be dominant on the offensive glass
That's
to
who
get second
they
chance
are.
points.
Yeah, exactly. That's who
When
they
they're
are.
in that half-court offense, it's not a good offense.
It's not.
And they showed it, Texas A&M.
Yeah.
That was a bad game.
Yeah, especially now we like besides Ahmad and Javon Carter, those like everyone else is either a freshman or a sophomore. So young team. I know we got Huggy Bear, but I had to give my boys. I had to leave them at 9.
Okay.
Number 8, I got Villanova. Every year, constant Villanova. 7, I like Florida a lot this year. Not as much as a lot of other people do. I mean, I know people have Florida in their top 2, 3. I don't think they're that talented. Defensively, I do think they can stack up with any team in the nation. But offense, when it comes to offenses, especially down in the SEC. There are other teams they have to deal with.
So, before you go on, my problem with Villanova and Florida is they're losing way too many guys.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at Villanova, Josh Hart's gone.
Yeah.
Chris Jenkins, the one that hit that big shot, he's gone. Daryl Reynolds, he's gone. Mm-hmm. Those are 3 key guys.
Yeah.
So I don't like Villanova and I don't like Florida. They are a very good defensive team. But I think last year, they were a 4 seed last year and they made a very good run, but I think most of that was kind of luck, luck. But again, Florida is losing a lot of good guys too on that team, and I don't think the guys, for either team, the guys coming in, it's not enough to put them in at least the same spot they were in last year.
Same with West Virginia, honestly, too. And the thing with West Virginia is, Kansas has been running the Big 12 for
They're going to run it for another year.
Bill Self is self-made. He runs that conference. But yeah, I got 6. I got the BBN, Big Blue Nation, Kentucky, Coach K, or not Coach K, excuse me, Coach Calipari.
Okay.
I think he's making some noise this year quietly at number 6. We'll see.
Kentucky is so young.
Yeah.
They're
always
like that, I will admit, but they usually have key guys from the bench that stay. And I think their recruiting class this year is good, but it's not as good as last year. They don't have a De'Aaron Fox. They don't have a Malik Monk. They don't have a Bam and a Bio.
That is true, which is why I put them. I know low or the 6th seed doesn't sound like a low seed.
Yeah, it's a high seed.
I feel like that's a low seed for Kentucky. Yeah. I keep them at 6. Arizona, I got it at number 5.
Ooh.
Yeah. Which pains me because I want to rank them higher, but my top 4, not necessarily my final 4, but my top 4 teams in the league. I mean, when Arizona, they're dominant, especially out in the West in the Pac-12. No one's touching them. They're great up front in transition. I mean, but they're not gonna beat number 4 Kansas. I don't think I got Kansas at number 4.
Okay.
We already said, Bill Self, the Jayhawks run the Big 12. Can't play a snap of football for their life, but they run basketball. Exactly. Number 3, the one team that is known solely because of their college basketball program, Wichita State.
The Shockers.
Yes, exactly. But the thing is, it's never shocking anymore.
It's not shocking anymore.
Never, because they have a consistent program. They quietly get good recruits every year, walk-ons every year that play big minutes for them. What are they at least? When was the last time they weren't? They didn't make it to at least the Sweet 16
last year, but they played.
Was it?
They were a 10 seed. They were a 10 seed. They played Dayton in the first round. They won that game, but then they went to face Kentucky.
Oh, yeah.
They were screwed over with their seed big time, and I did not approve of that. But Wichita State's moving to the American Conference now, so now people saying like they don't play anyone. That's no more because they're playing in a good not a good conference, but they're playing in a better conference now.
Yeah.
And all 5 starters returning. That's all I gotta say.
And that's why they're number 3. They're a damn good team. Not as good as this team though, because Coach K, I mean, those Blue Devils are some devils.
Duke boys.
I mean, me and KB personally have talked about, Marvin Bagley, he's coming in. Grayson Allen, I still love the guy. I mean, I think he was the one who told me he's not gonna start.
They did have him start the first game actually. I think what they're gonna do is go to 3 guard, 2 forward set.
Okay.
And have Grayson play like the 2 or 3.
2 or 3, yeah.
And then have Bagley and Wendell Carter at the 2 forward positions. So they're going smaller lineup, but they have the talent to make that.
Oh, definitely, because they got Gary Trent too. Like they get that core 3. I love it. But as number 1,
let me hear it. I already know. Let me hear it.
Michigan State.
My boys.
Michigan State. For one, their competition, like in the Big Ten, they're not a Big Ten East. Correct.
I think it's different with basketball. They don't do East and West.
They don't?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I swear. I could be wrong about that, but no. In the Big Ten, regardless, not that many big basketball schools.
Minnesota will be good this year. Northwestern will surprise some teams. Purdue's going to take a step back. Maryland's not going to be good. The Big Ten it's definitely going to take a toll this year.
Yeah.
Iowa's not going to be the same Iowa team. So.
Yeah. But as their unit as a starting 5, to me is the most solid, and that's and it's from 1 to 2. It's not even close. I don't think Coach K's starting 5 touches Michigan State starting 5. And but Michigan State doesn't have Coach K. Okay. So which is why you want to go to
Michigan State has Tom Izzo though.
Tom Izzo ain't Coach K.
Tom Izzo's Tom Izzo.
Alright.
Let's end this, baby. Let's end it on the high note. Oh, crap.
Alright, 3, 2, 1. RKB, so let's hear it. Let's hear your top 10 for college basketball this year.
First of all, I just want to say I was very impressed with your top 10. You
Hey,
surprised me. You
I
surprised me.
appreciate it. All right.
You surprised me. All right. Number 10, I have a team that will surprise everyone. They are ranked number 12 right now in the country, but this is a team that no one's going to know about, and it's Cincinnati. Cincinnati is a defensive-minded team. Last year, they were a 6th seed. They did lose to Lonzo Ball and UCLA in the second round, but their 3 leading scorers are returning: Jacob Evans, Gary Clark, and Kyle Washington. And they do have a Sacred Heart transfer, Kane Broom. I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
I think it's Broom, yeah.
My dude was averaging 23.1 points a game. This team can score. They play defense.
Yeah.
They're in a pretty weak conference in the American Conference.
Yeah.
This team will surprise some people this year.
And wow. Okay.
So,
all right.
Number 9. I know you had them at number 6. I have Kentucky. Kentucky is just, they're just such a young team. Their leading scorer from last year is averaged 4.6 points per game. That was Wayne Gabriel.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing with Kentucky.
Yeah.
New talented guys come in, they lose them the next year.
Yeah.
They have.
That's the problem with them.
It's the problem.
Yeah.
No one stays on that team.
Yeah.
They have 5 recruits in the top 25 coming in. So, talented team.
Yeah.
But the problem is they don't have those guys from last year.
Yeah.
Like, they don't have a Patrick Willis anymore. They don't have an Isaiah Briscoe anymore.
Yeah.
So they're losing some key guys there.
Yeah.
That could hurt them.
It could. It's just the fact that I feel like Calipari's had to deal with this so much that he knows how to do. I mean, obviously it's going to be different year to year.
Yeah.
But I feel like he has some tricks or some sort of trick up his sleeve where he knows how to deal with this. But I mean, we'll see. You know, we're just started.
Yeah. Number 8, the U. They're not just showing it in football, they're showing it in basketball this year.
Okay.
They have one of the nation's best backcourts in Jaquan Newton and Bryce Brown Jr., who, by the way, the other night did have a triple-double. They have a 5-star recruit coming in Lonnie Walker. And this is a defensive-minded team along with Cincinnati. The reason why I preach defense so much is because to be a national contender in college basketball, there are 3 things you need. 1, you need a leader on your team.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just the coach. You need a player leader on that team.
Joel Berry
on North Carolina. You know, you go back to Villanova when they won. They had Josh Hart.
Exactly.
They had Archie Nakano. They had leaders on that team.
Exactly.
So you need a leader on the team. You need to play defense. You need to play defense. It's plain and simple.
Yeah.
You play defense, you rebound, you win games.
Yeah.
And the third is you need good guard play. It doesn't have to be guards that score. It's guards that make plays.
Yeah.
Make plays for other guys.
Yeah. That's what basketball is now.
Yeah.
It's guard centric. Like it revolves around them, whether they're the scorer, the facilitator, whatever. But yeah.
So those are the 3 key things. And Jim Larinaga, that's my dude. Old George Mason coach, that's my dude.
Oh, all right, I got you.
He's a very good coach, very underrated coach. That's why I like Miami at 8.
Okay.
Number 7, I have Kansas. Wow. The problem with Kansas is they lose Josh Jackson, who was the 4th overall pick in that draft. He wasn't even the best player on that team last year. Frank Mason.
Yeah.
They're also losing Landon Lucas, who is a force down low for them.
Yeah.
The thing that Kansas need, they need Devontae Graham, that Mikhailo guy, and LeGerald Vick to step up their game and replace those 3 that they lost last year. And they do have a transfer from Mississippi State, Malik Newman, coming in, who I think he's going to be a very good factor for this team. But they're going to win the Big 12 again. Bill Self will do his thing.
Yeah.
But losing Mason and losing Jackson, I think it's really going to hurt this team, and they're going to take a big step back this year.
What did they finish last? Well, they were the 1st seed.
They were in 1 seed, and they did make it to the Elite 8, but they lost to Oregon.
Okay. Yeah.
But
Gotcha.
Number 6, Xavier.
Oh, okay.
They have one of the best players in the country in Trayvon Blewett. everyone remembers the run they made last year as the 11 seed, and they made it to the Elite Eight before losing to Gonzaga.
They seem to make a run every year. Every single year, Xavier's in it.
They have good freshmen coming in for this year, and they're not really losing a lot from last year. I think they're losing like one of their key guys.
Yeah.
But when I say the name Trayvon Blewett, watch this man. This man can ball.
Oh, I believe it.
He can play some basketball.
All right.
So that's why I have Xavier at 6. Number 5, I have USC. I was surprised you put them in your top 10. The thing with USC, all 5 starters returning from last year.
Yeah.
They were a good team last year. They lost in the second round to Baylor, but they did play in one of the first 4 games, so they had an extra game there. The key for USC is Benny Boatwright, who's their best player, needs to be healthy. He missed a lot of games last year for them, and that's why their seed wasn't so high.
Yeah.
So if he's on the court, he's one of the best players in college basketball, and this team can make a run. Number 4, I have Duke. Now, Duke is the most talented team.
Yeah.
But their problem is, can Grayson Allen be the leader of that team? Because you look at the guys they're losing. Luke Kennard was there for a while. Emil Jefferson was there for a while. Matt Jones was there for a while. Frank Jackson, who was a talented freshman last year.
I don't think the question is can he, but will he? Because I think he can.
He definitely
can.
But it's exactly what you said. Will he?
Will he?
And if he doesn't, this is a talented team with no leader.
Yeah.
And that could really hurt this team. I mean, they have 4 top recruits coming in just in the top 10.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
It's an every year thing.
Yeah.
Like
it really is. But so this is by far the most talented team in college basketball.
You got him at 4 because of Grayson?
Because of Grayson.
That's fair though. It's a fair.
Yeah.
It's a fair distinguishment because especially in college, no matter what sport, but like, especially if you're a guard and I mean I know he doesn't play point, but if you don't have a vocal leader and like a leader, someone who will take shots at the end of the game, you're not gonna win. You might go far, but you know.
But yeah, so that big star near Duke's name is Grayson Allen.
Yeah.
Number 3, along with you, I have Wichita State. All 5 starters returning.
Yeah.
They were screwed over last year with their seed. They're moving into a better conference in the American Conference.
You just walked in.
I paused mine. So I have Wichita State at 3. They're moving into a better conference in the American Conference, but it's still not a good conference. It's just Cincinnati up there.
Yeah.
But a lot of people have this team making the Final Four, and I have them as one of my Final Four teams too.
Yes.
This year in and year out, this is a team that, for some reason, still surprises people. For us, it's not a surprise.
Exactly.
This is a good basketball program now.
Yeah, I expect them year in year out to be a top 10, if not 5 team. It's just the way they've been coached the past couple years.
Yeah. Number 2. I have Arizona. Alonzo Trier is one of the best players in college basketball. They're really not losing much. They're losing Lauri Markkanen, but the guy coming in to replace him, DeAndre Ayton, is better than him.
It plays exactly like him.
He does. And again, they're in a very weak conference, which is why I have them so high. And last year, a lot of people had this team making it to the Final Four but they did lose to Xavier. But I think this year they will make it to the Final Four, and this team could possibly be a national championship team.
Oh, definitely. I had them in my Final Four last year,